Chapter 4 of Fortnite is here, and with that means a lot of things to unpack. From new spots on the map, reality augments, weapons, all sorts of stuff. We're gonna cover it all in this video. If you haven't bought the Battle Pass yet, please consider using code JivanTV, but without further ado, let's hop into it. Starting out with the new map, there are 9 POIs. The last season we literally had like 16, so we got some major shrinkage on our hands. But there's a lot of open space between the POIs, so we should be seeing more coming throughout this chapter. At the moment, it's hard to say which spot is the best, but I recommend exploring all of them and keeping up to date on the website called Fortnite.gg so that you can see how many chests are at each spot, what's surrounding each spot, and you can build good drop spots early on in the season. Another thing that alters the drop spots is hotspots. This was in the game previously. At hotspots, there's drones that fly around and you can shoot them out for god tier loot. This is going to affect game to game which spot is actually alpha. But keep in mind, everything we talk about in this video may not be included in competitive. They usually alter competitive throughout the first 2 weeks of the season. So at the moment, all you should be doing is just exploring the map. And to help speed along your process of exploring, let's talk about some of the new movement in the game. There are still cars and boats, but there's also dirt bikes now. Judging from the past, this is unlikely to be in competitive because cars have been vaulted from competitive for a while. There are also snowballs that you can pickaxe and they'll start to roll down like the boulders from last season. And you can jump in the snowballs to do like sneak attacks and just get right on your enemy. There's also shockwave bows that you can use as movement, but the coolest piece of movement is the shockwave hammer. If you press the aim button while having the shockwave hammer out, it launches you in the sky. If you're moving forward, it'll launch you up and forward. If you're just standing still, it'll just launch you straight up. You can catch yourself on builds, land into a slide, or you can slam your hammer at the end of the flight. This item is so versatile, and in competitive, if this isn't competitive, it would make for some crazy solo movement. You can literally be boxed up, hit the aim button, and just go flying. I honestly doubt it's going to be in competitive, but it would be pretty fun to use. And then impulses are also unvaulted. I've yet to see any launch pads, any bouncers, really much of anything else for movement. The only other thing that can be considered movement is the new slap juice and slap berries. When you drink these, it gives you unlimited sprint for a certain amount of time. So those can help speed up your rotate a little bit. The slap berries also give you 5 health, and the slap juice gives you 15. And while we're on the topic of healing, the other new form of healing is sky jellies. Around the map, you'll just see random floating jellyfish, and if you jump into them, it'll give you 20 health or shield. And then we have a lot of the same healing items like floppers, splashes, big pots, minis, medkits, bandages, all that. Now, the most exciting part of the update is that we have a new loot pool. And I say it's exciting not because it's an upgrade, but because it's new, and I like new. Let's break it down. First off, we have the Excalibur rifle. This bad boy kind of feels like a sniper, but there's a twist. When you shoot it at an enemy, it does nowhere near the damage of a sniper, but a second or two later, it explodes. This thing can flat out tear apart enemies, especially in team-based game modes. You get one of those shots in an enemy box, boom, 60 damage off both guys. This thing could be broken for Surge. Next up, we have the Red Eye Assault Rifle. This is a scoped AR that shoots pretty slow but does heavy damage. I'm not going to see myself rocking this very often, but it 100% does shred. And then in the AR category, we also now have Scars back. So I feel like that's going to be the main hold for a lot of people. But I'm not quite sure yet because the SMGs once again are busted to the max. Specifically the Twin Mag SMG. This thing was shredding for me when I first hopped on. All these guns have pretty unique feels from what the game felt like last season. I think it's because we're on a whole new engine, but everything from the hip fire to the way the damage is dealt looks and feels totally different. So it is going to take some getting used to, but I'm telling you, this Twin SMG was shredding for me. We also have Machine SMGs, and this thing's pretty good too, but the Twin SMG was doing way more damage to builds, which is what made it so broken. And now for the category we've all been waiting for, shotguns. What are they looking like? We have 2 guns, the Thunder Shotgun and the Maven Auto Shotgun. The Thunder Shotgun is basically the new pump. It does the most damage and feels like a pump. But something to note is that it actually has 8 shells in its mag, and every shot you shoot now shoots 2 shots at once, which means you're gonna go through ammo just as fast as the Auto Shotgun. The Auto Shotgun is basically a new tack. It feels just like it. It's hard to say which one of these is better right now. I almost feel like they're doing relatively similar damage. The Thunder Shotgun obviously does a little bit more, but is it enough to make it better than the Auto Shotgun? Hard to say. I didn't get a chance to test this out too much, but there's a new gun called the Tactical Pistol, which actually, if you hold down the shoot button, it is automatic, but it shoots pretty slow. I gotta give this thing a shot because pistols have always been low-key slept on, and this could be a new good gun to hold. Like I said earlier, the bows are also back in the game, from stink bows to explosive bows and all the way to shockwave bows. And then my favorite item to hold right now is the shockwave hammer. This thing is so fun to use, bro. You can travel across the map so fast, but I already kind of broke this down before. And then the last thing is there are other explosives in the game and stuff like fireflies, grenades, RPGs. But if you play competitive, you know that's not going to be in the competitive playlist, unless Epic's just feeling absolutely bonkers, but I highly doubt it. Now, if we're talking best loadouts, it's a little bit too early in the season to truly know, but personally, I'm rocking the Thunder Shotgun, the Twin Mag SMG, the Hammer, and 2 sets of heals. Epic will probably be messing with these guns, tweaking their damage and everything over the next few weeks, so that is up for discussion. Now, one of the coolest things of the update is the reality augments. All throughout the game, you'll randomly get these things on the side of your screen that say if you press a certain button, you can check your reality augments. With these, you get to choose between 2 options that it gives you, and it's basically like perks throughout the game that you simply get for surviving. I've had a bunch of different ones. Apparently there's 20 plus in the game. I've had stuff from like sleight of hand from Call of Duty where your speed of reloading is increased for SMGs. I had one where it gave me 2 bows, a shockwave bow and an explosive bow. One that gave me a higher chance of getting chug splashes from chests, stuff with like conserving ammo, all sorts of different reality augments. So be sure you're paying attention to that little icon on the side of your screen that tells you when you have a new augment available. Now, a couple miscellaneous things are: 1, we got hurdling. All you gotta do is sprint at anything and you'll hurdle over it. But be careful because you might accidentally hurdle over things that you don't want to in fights, and it could mess you up, so you gotta be cautious. There's also new bushes I noticed. We got like leaf piles that you can just sit in, so go crazy, you bush campers. And then randomly throughout the game, you may see like little rifts appearing in the sky, but they don't look like ordinary rifts. When this happens, it's like the map is fracturing, something comes from another dimension, and there will be a bunch of chests there for you. So when you see those, just know there's gonna be some good loot over there. If you're playing squads, you can now capture territories, like claim a POI for yourself if you fully dominate it. Your team's banner will appear in the middle of the POI. So that's cool, but I don't really play squads, so you know. So overall, the new chapter gives us a lot of new stuff to play with. Like, the new guns are going to take so much getting used to. The new physics of the game, like the hip firing, the way things look, everything is fresh, and that's going to take a while to get used to too. So many new places to explore, so much to learn. So get out there and start grinding, because tourneys start in 1 week. That's right, there's a placement cup this weekend, December 10th. It's going to place you in your division for the season, which is going to be a big deal because based on what division you're in, you may or may not be able to compete in FNCS this season. The game mode is duos, and there's also some solo events. If you want to hear everything related to competitive, a video is coming up on my main channel in like an hour. Once it's uploaded, I'll get that link on the screen for you. But yeah, guys, so much more content coming soon, so stay tuned. And don't forget to use code JivanTV if you haven't already got the Battle Pass. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.